Welcome to CSLDallas, Center for Spiritual Living. We are so grateful that you're with us this morning. If this is your first time, hello. We are a radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, transforming life community. That's what we're about. And we're also about ensuring that we have spiritual inspiration and practical spirituality for you and for everyone else that's been a part of our community for quite some time. So welcome.
And we'd love to invite you to Christmas Eve. We'd love for you to put on your calendar Thursday, December 24th, Christmas Eve from 4:30 to 6. Come home to love from our house to yours. We have a super special evening planned, an opportunity for us to be together as family. So grab your favorite beverage, your favorite people, your furry friends, sit in the favorite place of your house, and join us for a holiday celebration. We'll have the 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, CSLDallas style, read by some of our kids. We will have an opportunity for contests. We'll have a decorating contest, which I will be participating in. And we have the ugly sweater contest, which
I will be participating in.
I don't do the ugly sweater thing. So, or you don't have to be part of any contest at all. It's really okay. We'll have lovely breakouts, opportunities to be together. We have scavenger hunts for the kids. And of course, we have incredible music by our choir, a music video, which should be quite fun, and our sacred moment. We invite you to bring a candle to wherever you're going to be seated. We will close with a candle lighting celebration. Now, I want to remind you that you received a calendar, Come Home to Love, in December with CSLDallas. And you're asked to do the acts of love every day as we count down through the holidays. Please also take a picture or a video and post it up on the Google spot. You have that information that came with your calendar. And every person who posts at least one thing that they've done, well, we have a special gift for you, and we want to send it to you. So don't forget to be following your calendar and upload at least one picture or video of what you or your family have done to come home to love in December.
Yeah, so Christmas Eve on Zoom together, and New Year's Day, January 1st, 2021, we are here in person in our parking lot for our amazing, powerful burning bowl ritual. You do not want to miss that. You must RSVP and save yourself and your family a spot, because we only have so many spots in the parking lot. And we're going to have heaters and all that. And I imagine it's going to be a bonfire this year to burn the stuff that we don't want to take with us from 2020 and set our intentions for 2021. So New Year's Day at noon in the parking lot here at CSLDallas.
Yeah. And we know that you have lots of places to give at the end of the year, and we ask for you to give some of it here at CSL Dallas. We love being a part of your life. We love that you're a part of ours. We love being in community together, even across the distance of internet. And we're so grateful for all of you who give so much. Please do generously give here at the end of the year. We are so grateful. You can go to CSLDallas.org and click Donate Now. You can hit the Facebook Donate button, and you can also text Donate. The number is on your screen. Please do donate, and donate generously. It really does, in fact, make a difference. Thank you.
Yes, it sure does. And our practitioners, our licensed practitioners, are very generous. At the end of our Sunday celebration, there is a link where you can get into a private Zoom room one-on-one with our licensed practitioners and get an affirmative prayer, spiritual mind treatment to bring into your life what it is you want, or release that which you want to let go.
Scripture told me that I had to be good. Now I love 'cause I want to. I love because I am free, blinded by the Spirit. Oh Lord, the Spirit of God is upon me. Yeah, yeah.
Whoa,
every day.
The Spirit of God is upon me.
Every day.
Whoa,
Oh, the Spirit of God is upon me.
Whoa, the Spirit of God is upon me. Whoa, the Spirit of God is upon me.
Don't need any prodding. I don't need
Come Home to Love is our theme for the month, and today we are coming home to love the divine presence. It's also, we're right in the middle of Hanukkah. And for those of you who are familiar with the story of Hanukkah, it is, of course, a celebration of the Maccabees taking the temple back from the Roman Empire. But the big story is that in the temple, there is always the eternal flame, which is representing the presence of the divine. And when they took back the temple, there was only enough oil for one day. It takes 8 days to press oil. What was the miracle? That 1 day's worth of oil lasted the entire 8 days until they could bring the oil to the eternal flame. That eternal flame represents the divine presence, eternal, the light and love of the divine that is eternal, that is forever present. And in the Jewish tradition, there are two really powerful intentions. The first one is to seek to bring holiness to every act of life, because one is eternally in the presence of that eternal flame. And so every act is done in the divine presence. To bring holiness to it is to acknowledge that fact. And the other idea is that everything can become an act of worship, an act of love of the divine. To have our actions, our words, our way of being in the world, the way in which we show up, so truly show that love that we have for spirit, for the divine presence. And the idea of the eternal flame, right? It's always everywhere present, which means that it's always here and now. Every moment, that divine presence is available in its fullness and its entirety. So what does it mean to make every act sacred? To make every act an act of worship? To love the divine presence? Well, we can begin with the Jewish statement of faith. Hear, O Israel, the Lord thy God is one. Notice that it doesn't say one God. It says is one. The Lord thy God is one. One life, one love, one divine presence. So when we come home to the love of the divine presence, we are coming home to the oneness. That fact that we live and breathe and move and have our being in the eternal presence. What does this mean? This means we belong. We belong to spirit. We belong to life. We belong to each other. We belong in our own lives. We belong to ourselves because we're always in the divine presence. To come home to love is to come home to this mystery that is love, that is the divine presence made manifest. And so as I was thinking about this, I was thinking about, okay, so what is the biggest mystery of love? For me, it is a powerful realization that I had many years ago that I found unbelievably startling. It begins with the definition of love. So I grew up with, the movies. I grew up with Disney and the, Hallmark. And love was about getting someone to love me, right? And it was about having that experience that someone would so love me that I would feel loved. And on the other hand, many of us have a deep spiritual roots. We have religious roots or familial roots that say love is about giving. Giving, 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 giving. It shouldn't be about yourself. It's about giving, 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 giving. And that so easily falls into self-sacrifice or martyrdom or codependence or giving ourselves away. I certainly learned how to do that very, very, very early in my life. In the science of mind, we define love very differently. Love is Spirit's givingness of itself into creation. The self-givingness of Spirit into creation. which means that all of creation is made out of the one. All of the creation is the manifest body of God. And spirit, life, God, has given all of itself into creation. So everything that is ever needed at any moment or any point, anywhere, has already been given. What an extraordinary act of love. Do we not do that with our children? We give all of ourselves to them to the best of our ability. We give all of ourselves to our partner, to the work that we love, to the vocation that we are committed to, right? We give all of ourselves, and to imagine the infinite reality eternally giving all of itself into creation, to us, as us, for us, through us. And this exchange or experience of love, right, it doesn't work when we are seeking to get it from something else, from something outside of ourselves. It is actually the act of loving itself that allows us to experience love. It is the act of spirit giving of itself that is the love. And when we love the divine presence, we are giving of ourselves to it, and we are receiving its blessing. Thank you, Lainey. You know how much I love it when you sing the song Feast of Lights. It moves me every time. All of those blessings, all of the blessings of Spirit are forever pouring into life. And Jesus, a Jewish rabbi, gave us an interpretation of this statement, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord thy God is one." His interpretation came as 2 commandments. Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy strength, and with all thy mind. What does that mean? That means to love the qualities of Spirit, to love the qualities of life so fully and so completely that we live them by giving ourselves to those qualities. We give ourselves to light, to peace, to joy, to beauty, to power, to love. We give ourselves to these qualities so that they may flow through us and the truth of the divine presence can be revealed. That's what it means to love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy strength, and with all thy mind. To contemplate and to give ourselves to these infinite qualities, the reality of the divine presence. It's more than to our human need. It moves us beyond our human need to defend, to be right, or to compare ourselves to others. When we see this divine presence, when we experience it, and we recognize thou art that, thou, the divine presence, art that and that and that and that and that. Everywhere we look, we see the sermons in the stones. All of life is revealing itself and singing the song of praise of the divine presence and the beauty and the majesty. And then we live like Brother Lawrence. We can't do anything without recognizing that it is the divine making itself manifest as us. Everything we do, every holiday decoration we hang, every dinner that we make, every email that we send, every conversation we have with every client or every employee or every boss, every moment, every vote, everything we post on social media, we can't do any one of those things except that the divine presence is present and it's moving as us. And when we know that and we love that, then everything we do lines up with those qualities. My experience of that has been that has given me the sense of belonging. Belonging in my own life, belonging to life, belonging in the experiences that I'm having, good, bad, or indifferent. Because in every moment, there is the opportunity to be consciously aware of the divine presence. For me, this changed everything. I can remember when I would look outside and the colors were brighter. And everything seemed etched in something real that always seemed a little different and fuzzy to me before that. The air felt purer. Moments seemed sweeter. Events were fuller and richer. And life began to have so much more meaning for me. Everything changed. Everything began to palpably resonate with the vibrancy, the vibration and frequency that I seek to be aligned with. To love that is to continually seek to tune ourselves to that frequency. And all of life reflects it back to us. Sri Aurobindo, in his interpretation of Hinduism, says all of creation is for the delight of the divine. And when we love creation and can love it and see it and let it speak to us of this delight, it shows itself and we recognize it. Emerson says prayer is the soliloquy of a jubilant and beholding soul. A soliloquy, a praise and thanksgiving for that which is joy-filled and which can be perceived by the very truth of our being, to see and perceive the divine presence. Ernest Holmes says to find God in the sunset is to shadow the landscape with the softness of God's beauty and the glow of God's presence. To discover the divine in the rising sun is to bathe the world in the atmosphere and conviction of eternal newness of the Ancient of Days. And to find God in each other proclaims the impersonal personalness of that which forever peoples this and all worlds with the divine presence, that all-pervasive and complete reality. He goes on to write, there is a light and life at the center of all things and a consciousness that responds. This imprisoned splendor to the eyes that perceive it bursts like the glory of the dawn. This incarnated consciousness and intelligence in all things can communicate itself to us and speak a divine language to the one who listens. What God has made, God has anointed. What God has created, God has provided for. And so this brings us then beautifully to the second commandment, love your neighbor as yourself. If we are loving the divine presence and seeing it revealed not only in our own lives, but where we look, we must perceive it in those around us. Our neighbors, our enemies, our friends, those we don't even know. We perceive and see spirit seeking to be revealed. Ernest Holmes says to love God and to love our neighbor as ourselves means to see God in everything and to include everyone in one's divine unity. On this admonition of the Master hangs the meaning of all the divine law, all spiritual prophecy, and all true revelation. When we can perceive that this is the truth of others, no matter how they're behaving, when we can perceive that this is the truth of others, it's easier to see how often not only we, but others act out of hurt or fear. And it's also easy, much easier, to celebrate the beauty of each individual, the unique way in which life, spirit, love is being expressed through each and every person. Emerson talks about in conversations when we are conscious and we are present to the oversoul. Emerson says, Jove nods to Jove behind our eyes through the human veil of our difference. Life sees life. Love sees love. The divine presence is revealed. When we do that, we give ourselves to the best part of us and to the best part of another. What better definition of love? To come home to love and to the love of the divine presence is to be present right here, right now. And in that moment, to be the presence to the best of our ability. To love the qualities of life and truth more than we love anything else. This means we love this divine presence, this truth, this desire to be the presence more than we love comfort, ease, convenience, power, safety, security, wealth, success. Pretty much anything. Why? Because when we give ourself, our whole self, our heart, our soul, our strength, our mind to the absolute truth, and when we perceive and experience that presence of love, the Master has told us, all else shall be added unto us. Come home to love this holiday season. Come home to the love of the divine presence. Drink Drink of the waters, drink of the life. The banquet table has been laid. All has been given. Come home to love this holiday season.